I bid you welcome. I bid you welcome, friends, on this Christmas Eve. This is a welcome that does not depend on where you were born, or what you believe, or where you slept last night, or where your step will take you when you depart. This is a welcome that only asks that you come to this moment with goodwill in your heart and a willingness to be together in the spirit of community. Welcome, believers, unbelievers, and agnostics. Welcome to you who are excited, you who are anxious, you who are restless, you who are grieving, and you who are simply content to be here, safe among friends. Welcome to the Unitarian Society of Santa Barbara, into this loving community of seekers where we strive to live with integrity, nurture wonder, and inspire the actions that transform us and transform the world. Tonight we retell an ancient story, a story about the birth of a humble child and the resurgence of hope in a hurting world. We pause from our daily routine to look up and catch a glimpse of a star that calls us toward love. And we listen for the joy that abides, even in the hardest of times. We will sing songs of glad tidings and quiet mysteries and light candles of peace and goodwill. We gather to remind ourselves that we are not alone in our longing for a world transformed, and we remember that we are the ones who must welcome the stranger, comfort the brokenhearted, and carry the light of love out into the world. In the spirit of Christmas, welcome one and all.
Tonight, set aside the press and crush of the world as it is, and wonder with us about the world as it could be. Make room in your heart for hope. Prepare for the possibility of peace. Refuse to let fear have the final word. And journey with us as we now follow the guiding star of love. Come, let us kindle the lights of Christmas together.
We will join in singing our first carol, Angels We Have Heard on High. Please rise in body and spirit and sing with our choir.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? And may there some tidings be which inspire your heavenly song. Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo. Come to Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Gloria excelsis Deo, gloria, in excelsis Deo.
The thread that runs through all three services this evening are our candles of peace. And so we light our first candle this evening, the light of peace in our hearts. If there is to be peace anywhere in this world, it must start right here within each of us. This Christmas season, may we find room in our hearts for peace. May our cares be lifted, spirits strengthened, and may we all know deep in our heart that we are loved. Tonight, along with singing beloved carols and basking in the warm glow of candlelight and the voices of our choir, We will be reading the story of Jesus' nativity from two of the books of the Christian Bible, the books of Luke and Matthew. The words of these ancient texts have been repeated and embellished in songs and stories so often that they may sound familiar even if you don't know exactly where they came from. And of course, we are reading a text in translation this evening, a text that was crafted by many authors and then translated into English from ancient Greek, which was probably translated from Aramaic before that. So tonight, I invite us into the practice of listening to this text in the spirit of generous interpretation, knowing that no one person or single theology owns the Christmas story, but it comes to life in each of us in different ways. And every year, in every age, current events taking place in the world around us change how we understand this story. As the carol we will sing later in the service reminds us, the hopes and fears of all the years are always present in how we receive the message of this evening. The original authors of this story, thousands of years ago, were trying to bring hope, comfort, and reassurance to a community struggling in the shadow of an oppressive regime. They wanted to bring glad tidings to people who were longing for change. Perhaps hearing this story again, we can listen for that birth of hope, that longing for liberation that runs throughout this text and is passed on age after age. Let us allow the story and songs to unfold among us once more.
In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place with Quirinius was governor of Syria, and everyone went to their own town to register. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem in the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in the manger, because there was no guest rooms available for them.
Let us light our second candle, the light of peace in our homes. Like the Holy Family, let peace reside with us no matter where we lay our heads. This Christmas season, may all who are frightened find sanctuary. May all who are seeking sanctuary find safety and welcome. And may all who are weary find a safe place to rest. Let us sing together again, O Little Town of Bethlehem.
O little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by. Yet in thy dark street shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. For Christ is born of Mary and gathered all above. While mortals sleep, the angels keep their watch of wandering love. O morning stars together proclaim the holy birth, and praises sing to God the King, and peace to men on earth. how silently the wondrous gift is given. So God imparts to human hearts the blessings of his hand. No ear may hear his coming, but in this world of sin, where meek souls will receive him still, the dear Christ enters in.
In the same region, there were some shepherds staying out in the fields and keeping watch over their flock by night. And an angel of the Lord suddenly stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terribly frightened. But the angel said to them, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy, which will be for all the people. For today, in the city of David, there has been born for you a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. This will be a sign for you. You will find a baby wrapped in cloths and lying in a manger." And suddenly there appeared with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace and goodwill to all."
When the angels had gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds began saying to one another, "Let us go straight to Bethlehem then, and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has made known to us." So they came in a hurry and found their way to Mary and Joseph, and the baby as he lay in the manger. When they had seen this, they made known the statement which had been told them about this child, and all who heard and wondered at the things which were told to them by the shepherds. But Mary treasured all these things, pondering them in her heart. The shepherds went back, glorifying and praising God for all that they had heard and seen, just as had been told them.
We now kindle the light of peace in our community. Like the shepherds and angels, let us spread the word of peace wherever we go. This Christmas season, may we recommit ourselves to being part of a community that acts with compassion, resists injustice, supports the vulnerable, and leaves no one outside the circle of care. Please rise.
After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." When King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. Then Herod called the Magi secretly and found out from them the exact time the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, report to me so that I may too go and worship him."
After they had heard the king, they went on their way, and the star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother, Mary, and they bowed down and worshiped him. Then they opened their treasures and presents him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned to their country by another route.
We kindle the light of peace in our world. Like the Magi, we are called to respond to the events of our time with wisdom and generosity. We are all citizens of this planet, and our fates are bound up together. This Christmas season, may the people of the world recognize their kinship with one another. May the hearts of our leaders bend toward love, and may peace on earth be our guiding star. Another reading this evening is a poem by Alberto Rios, and it's titled Christmas at the Border, 1929. And it's based on local newspaper reports and recollections from that time, based on events he read about in the newspapers of that era. 1929, the early days of the Great Depression. The desert air was biting, but the spirit of the season was alive. Despite hard times, the town of Nogales, Arizona, determined that it would host a grand Christmas party for the children in the area, a celebration that would defy the gloom of the year, the headlines in the paper, and winter itself. In the heart of town, a towering Christmas tree stood, a pine in the desert. Its branches, they promised, would be adorned with over 3,000 gifts. 3,000. The thought at first was to illuminate the tree like at home, with candles, but it was already a little dry. Needles were beginning to contemplate jumping. A finger along a branch made them fall off. People brought candles anyway. The church sent over some used ones, too. The grocery store sent some paper bags, which settled things. Everyone knew what to do. They filled the bags with sand from the fire station, put candles in them, making a big pool of lighted luminarias. From a distance, the tree was floating in a lake of light. Fire so normally a terror in the desert, but here, so close to miracle. For the tree itself, people brought garlands from home, garlands made of everything, walnuts and small gourds and flowers, chilies too, the chilies themselves looking a little like flames. The townspeople strung them all over the beast. It kept getting bigger, after all, with each new addition. This curious donkey whose burden was joy. At the end, the final touch was tinsel. Tinsel everywhere, more tinsel. Children from nearby communities were invited, and so were those from across the border in Nogales, Sonora, a stone's throw away. But there was a problem: the border. As the festive day approached, it became painfully clear the children in Nogales, Sonora would not be able to cross over. They were quite literally on the wrong side of Christmas. Determined to find a solution, the people of Nogales, Arizona, collaborated with Mexican authorities on the other side in a gesture as generous as it was bold, as happy as it was cold. On Christmas Eve, 1929, for a few transcendent hours, the border moved. Officials shifted it north, past City Hall, in this way bringing the Christmas tree within reach of children from both towns. On Christmas Day, thousands of children, American and Mexican, indigenous and orphaned, gathered around the tree, hands outstretched, eyes wide, and shouting and singing both. Gifts were passed out. Candy canes were licked. And for one day, there was no border. When the last present had been handed out, when the last child had returned home, the border resumed its usual place, separating the two towns once again. For those few hours, however, the line in the sand disappeared. The only thing that mattered was Christmas. Newspapers reported no incidents that day, nothing beyond the running of children, their pockets stuffed with candy and toys, milling people on both sides, the music of so many peppermint candies being unwrapped. On that chilly December day, the people of Nogales gathered and did what seemed impossible. However quietly regarding the outside world, they simply redrew the border. In doing so, they brought a little more warmth to the desert winter. On the border, on this day, they had a problem, and they solved it. So ends our reading. The next carol we are about to sing, "It Came Upon a Midnight Clear," was written by the Unitarian minister Edmund Sears in 1849. The Mexican-American War had just ended, and Reverend Sears was both a pacifist and an abolitionist, a cause that would grow increasingly urgent as the nation headed toward civil war. We've added in one of the middle verses that we don't often sing, and I invite you to listen for the vision of a more just and peaceful world embedded in this beautiful song. Rise. Till through the cloven skies they come, with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music floats o'er all the weary world. Above his sad and lonely plains they bend on hovering wing, and over its babel Tonight, as is our Christmas Eve tradition, our offering will be used to reach out to those in need and bring a little more love and justice into the world. Tonight's offering will be shared between the Freedom Warming Centers and the Minister's Discretionary Fund. The Freedom Warming Centers are an interfaith network that gives shelter to our neighbors living on the streets, offering a dry, warm, and safe place to rest on nights like this, when the winter weather turns cold and wet. For years, the Unitarian Society has been a leader in this county-wide program, and tonight there are people sleeping here on our campus who have nowhere else to go. All throughout this week, while this winter storm passes through, volunteers and warming center staff are cooking hot meals and keeping people safe through the cold and rainy night. Your gifts help make this possible. The Minister's Discretionary Fund is a lifeline. It allows us to respond to the immediate needs of people in our community, distributing funds confidentially on a case-by-case basis. This fund fixes cars. It pays utility bills. It buys groceries. It helps keep things from going from bad to worse when someone is going through a hard time. You can read about these programs in your order of service. Please give as generously as you are able so that we may continue this good work. Many thanks to the choir for the beautiful music this evening, to Matthew, to Kevin on the organ, and Heather on the piano, and many thanks to Kier and Will, who is stepping in for Whitney this evening at the last minute, for being our readers this evening. When the world presses in, tries to keep us small with fear and divided by hate, suddenly Christmas arrives to remind us that love is always waiting to be born. When we are feeling stuck, ground down under empire or burdened by the weight of our troubles, love is what helps us imagine new possibilities. After all, what is the joy we feel at the birth of a baby if it is not joy in the possibilities that are born with them? When we love a child, do we not also love the imagination of their future, the life that will unfold in mysterious ways still unknown? And as adults, what does it mean to be loved except that someone sees us with those eyes of possibility? Still sees not just who we were and who we have been and who we are, but also who we still can become. Love gives us the space to grow, to flourish, to transform our whole life long. When we are loved, we are liberated to become the brightest possibilities inherent within ourselves. Christmas arrives and reminds us that with love at work in the world, we are led toward these new ways of being, but not just for ourselves, not just individually, but collectively. As the author Arundhati Roy said, and many of you may have heard, another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, you can hear her breathing. On a quiet night like this, the breathing of an infant asleep in the hay thousands of years ago can still be heard, asking us, what will love make possible for you? And not just you in the individual sense, but all of you, all of us who live in a world once again calcified by hate and war. What new way of being is love calling us toward together? In the poem Alberto Rios wrote about that Christmas Eve 100 years ago, he tells us what happens in a community when they allow love to take the lead. The border between nations, this indelible, seemingly indelible line on a map delineating mine and yours, us and them, the border which seems so fixed and solid is revealed to be a human creation, after all. The border, this idea that had been forged into shape and had become a shackle, it was for 1 hour broken open, reimagined, because Christmas arrived and reminded us that being one joyful human family is, after all, what life is about. Being together in joyful moments, joyful nights like this, is what being human is all about. Christmas arrived, and what the children needed became the most important thing. The lines in the sand between us, if they do not serve that goal of human flourishing, if they do not serve the future of the children who are born to us each and every age, if they do not bend when love calls them to bend, well then perhaps they too need to be reimagined. Love reminds us what we create, we can recreate. What we make, we can undo. What has not yet existed, it still can come to pass. Love challenges us to investigate what we think we know, to test our assumptions, to follow those stars with the courage of the Magi from the story, those wise travelers with generous hearts who were transformed by what they saw when they arrived in Bethlehem. Just a baby, yes, but also all the possibilities of what that child could become. After all, what are prophecies except the way of the heart imagining a different future. And so the Magi, following the light of love, learned to avoid the old roads, the old rulers, the old empire, going home by a different path, spreading the word that yes, change was in fact possible, and they knew this because love had led them to it. So if you arrived here tonight with heavy heart, wondering if things can be different, this story reminds us that nothing is fixed in place forever, not even the stars in the sky. Love liberates us not only to imagine new worlds, but to know those worlds are possible. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. In just a moment, we will pass the candlelight throughout this sanctuary, and I'm going to invite Will and Kier to help me demonstrate how we're going to do this. And if you're joining us at home, I hope you will light a candle with us so that our light can shine all across the community and perhaps even the world. So what we're going to do, and if there's any kids out here, you can help your parents with this. We are going to, Kier, if you want to light your candle, and we're going to bend the unlit candle toward the lit candle, always bending toward the light. And when we are finished singing Silent Night, if you are here in person, please blow out your candle carefully. And so the choir is going to come down and start passing the light throughout the sanctuary, and then we will sing the first 2 verses of Silent Night, pause for the benediction, and then sing the final verse.
Will to all, this is a time for joy. This is a time for love. Now let us all sing together of peace, peace, peace on earth. Peace, peace, peace on earth and good will to all. This is a time for joy. This is a time for love. Now let us all sing together of peace, peace, peace on earth.
In the words of the Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman, when the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flocks, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among the people, to make music in the heart.
Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth.
Merry Christmas and go in peace.
Ken used to have us do that. So Rachel, how's it required to on a French?
Very good.
Yeah, I know, that was right.
Contique that he
Yeah,
played.
sounded good? All right, good, good.
All went well.
Oh, he does?
But if you're a couple, John, can we get your help and open it up?
Sure.
We're gonna be
Yeah,
ready
I gotta load
soon.
it up and then also, like the new players. Go ahead. We're going down?
They're just about ready. Like we can start getting the tables.
I did the one.
If you want to complete 5 minutes, or at least 5. That's what I'm having fun.
I got this. Hi, Andrew.
Okay. We're gonna need to get chairs out of the way, but yeah, actually.
Probably in here. I think I've won maybe one game out of the last 6 months playing it. I think maybe. Okay, 2 or 3. Never liked it. And she's way better. Like, really sucks. We're just friends and she kicks my butt every single time. We've been playing for like 3 years now.
No way.
Every game. Oh yeah, she just terrible. It's just not easy. Of course, I'm not that bright, so it
Hello. Thank you. Yeah. Can we get your help actually? Can we get those 3 chairs moved? Yes,
we need a,
A chair rack? At least 3. I don't know. Did you ask Gail how many people we have for the 9 o'clock? Yeah. How many people we have?
If you wanted a copy of it.
Okay. Except for Andrew.
Kollege Weihnachten.
see now.
Nobody else is there, so we can move that. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
It's easy to play here. She's always on the drums. It's like, oh, no. I sound really good. I should just play this the whole time. Just keep up like what goes.
Do we need anybody on that middle step, Gail? Do we need that chair on the middle step? One chair? You can come in. Yeah. You might do your us after. Cool. Yeah, if you started start coming?
Yeah.